Yeah, guys and girls, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I'm just installing Call of Duty Infinity Warfare. I've had this for a while, since it came out. I think it was like last year, year before, something like that. And this came with Modern Warfare as well. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. Now, what really annoys me in gaming is how big the sizes of the gigabytes in games are nowadays. It's flipping ridiculous. I mean, there's some people out there who have got really low internet connections, but yet still have to, right, look at this, still have to install at least 20 gigabytes. Some people only get a download of 5 megabytes, but of download speed. And then how is people supposed to download a game? I'm lucky because I got about 8. This is downloading at around about 63.60 megabytes a second. I've got around about 80 to 90 meg connection, but mine's like sort of like how's it going? Where you just keep on downloading. It's infinite at the moment, so you can download as much data as shit you can within a month, and it just eats it up and stuff. But it's not like some people. Some people have got internet connections, and you can only download a certain amount of gigabytes in a month. So basically, you have a cap. This internet, though, because this is on BT, this is a UK sort of like internet provider. We've got the fiber optic, so I say fiber optic, but thing is, it's not still even that fast, to be honest. Some people like Virgin have got up to like 400 meg bytes a second. So, but look at this, look at the gigs on here. Now on disk it says 44.33 gigabytes. Network has to download at least 20 gigabytes, at least 19.11 gigabytes. And then that's not including, so it says a total for the two games, because Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, it comes with like all the maps and stuff. Don't forget you got to download all the DLC, so that's not really, that's extra on top. And they're usually around about 5-6 gigabytes for each DLC nowadays. They're fucking huge, guys and girls. It's ridiculous. And I've only got 115.3 gigabytes left. 80.4% used of my hard drive, 500 gigabytes. And that's actually, this one is it. And if I go to my games, how many games I've got on that hard drive, I've only got a 500 gigabyte hard drive on here. I've got Battlefield 1, I've got Call of Duty Infinite Warfare on there, I've got Destiny 2, and I've got Prominence Poker, but that don't take up many megabytes, or a gig or something, 2 gigs or something like that, maybe less. But if you go, hang on, let's have a look. Let's go have a look at the data management on the size of this. Let's have a look. That's 35.7 gigabytes. That's not bad at all. But then again, the DLC will be coming out, the first DLC, around probably December of this year, 2017. Today, it is Friday the 6th of October, and it's 10:05 right now, guys and girls. Now, that's not too bad for a whole game. For a game that's installed and I've been playing it. But updates, when you get fucking updates, they're around about 20 to 30 gigs. Now, let me just show you. I've got an external hard drive. It's a 250 gigabyte hard drive. And I'm going to have to go to my other one, to my external, which I've put an SSD in. I've put an SSD inside of a caddy case, which is up there. Now that's going to install that game. Apparently that's in a queue. But if I got Minecraft on there, the new version, the Windows 10 version. It runs, I would say, quite smooth. But when you put it on to anti-aliasing ×8 and all that kind of stuff, and you put it onto, I think it was 32 blocks and all that kind of stuff. It does lag a little bit. This is the Xbox One S, by the way, though, guys and girls. So, and I've got Project Cars 2 on there. So let me just have a look. The size on this is a 250 gigs. I've got at least 20 gigs left of that on the 250 gigs. So that's gonna run into problems. I've got FIFA 18 here. So if I go to FIFA 18, let's have a look at the size on this. I want to compare different size formats. Now look at that. 44.8 gigabytes. Now that's not bad for a game for a next gen console. You got to mind yourself though. This is a next gen console. This is not like the Xbox 360 where, I mean, okay, the actual updates were about 5-6 gigabytes for the DLCs, but that was at this time. But now the updates are around 20 to 30 gigs in size, sometimes 20 gigs. And I'm thinking, for highest game that I've actually played, hang on, let's have a look. That's for that game. I'm just comparing different games. Now look at this game. I had to install Forza 7 yesterday because apparently it was playing up, guys and girls. They had some trouble, and I thought it was on my end. But apparently it was on the developers side, apparently, where I put the disc in and it kept turning off the actual game. It kept like literally dashboarding it, saying that it was an error or something. Anyway, look at that, 67 gigabytes. Now they said this game was going to be over 90 to 100 gigabytes. Now I haven't seen it yet, but I presume when you get the DLC, the car packs and all that, is going to be a much larger game size. And then they've got the various updates coming as well for this console and this game and all that. And then you've got the Xbox One X coming out. So maybe because the Xbox One X is going to have 4K, maybe the actual file sizes are going to be even higher. So it could be around, Forza 7 could be around about 100 gigabytes by the time the Xbox One X is released. And seeming you can play this game in 4K. This game here was actually designed, guys and girls, for the Windows 10 for 4K 60 frames per second, and also for the Xbox One X was designed for that. Now 67 gigs, I had to download at least 35 gigabytes of data, and then the other 5 gigs was on the hard drive, or actually not hard drive, on the disk. So in a way I had to do half on the disk, half on the download size. But yeah, it's all coming together. Oh, my mum's choking to death. Now actually I think if I go to, let's have a look at this. Now that's 43.5 gigabytes for Project Cars 2. Now I'll tell you, guys and girls, between Project Cars and Forza 7, I think Project Cars 2 is probably one of the hardest games I've ever played, but it's fucking fantastic. I love it. I just love the realism on it. I mean, to be honest, they should have at least some lower settings where it can control the car. I find when you're driving a car, especially in the pouring rain, it skids everywhere. You can't even control the flipping car and all that. But the sounds of the cars as well, I've noticed. The cars are literally different in each vehicle. You could have like a Porsche, and the Porsche would sound much different than if it was a Lamborghini, or if it was an Audi R5 or whatever cars they have in there. But they sound really, really, really different. Even inside, when you press the inside cam to go into the cockpit, it sounds really different as well. Not different in a bad way, in a good way, because you've got the different sound effects. Anyway, I'm going to finish this off in a second, but one final one here. I want to have a look at the actual Minecraft. Now this is Minecraft on the Xbox One S, on the S version. That's not too bad because that's quite small, and they don't really take up many files. Fast drive, I've got that on my fast drive on my SSD because then that would open the world to much faster. 454.4 megabytes, so that's quite small, and it's quite decent. And that's I called it my fast drive. That's what I've nicknamed it. Anyway, guys and girls, I hope you enjoyed this episode. But do you think, I would like to hear from you guys and girls, do you think that gigabytes on games are getting really high, and do you think eventually it will get to the point where it's going to take terabytes of storage to store a game onto a system? Like, can you imagine 1 to 2 terabytes for an installation for a game, to actually put a whole game on? One game, that is, though. One game. It'd be going into terabytes, or much higher than that. Anyway, guys and girls, cheers all for watching. Catch you all later. Stay safe, and if you enjoyed the video, please like, favourite, share, subscribe, and cheers all for watching. Catch you all later, and stay safe all.